name is Chris Nichols. I'm a connecting associate at Riipen Networks. What does that mean? It means business development. And I'm here to tell you about Riipen. But first before I do that, I want to tell you about my friend, Scott. That's Scott, and he looks pretty happy, and he should be, because it's his graduation day. And that's a happy day. And these are Scott's parents, right here. And they look pretty proud. Scott's taking his first step into adulthood. Here we have Scott's house. Looks pretty sweet. Except it's not Scott's house, it's his parents' house. And he's living in their basement. And these are Scott's parents about 2 weeks after graduation. Now, instead of taking those trips to beaches in Cancun like retired parents should, they're still supporting Scott because this is Scott's job and this is Scott's student loan bill. Even Scott's girlfriend, not too pleased at this point. So it looks to me like Scott needs a new job, a good job, where he can put to work all those skills that he learned in his college education. But this is Scott's resume. Right here. There you go. See, he doesn't even have it ready. How are companies supposed to find the right Scott when they're sifting through thousands, literally thousands, of ambiguously worded and similar pieces of paper like this? And how is Scott supposed to find the right meaningful career when he doesn't have any experience to put on this resume? This is something we're all familiar with in one way or another. Introducing Riipen. What Riipen does is matches college course projects with companies that are interested in collaborating with students. So this is the old way in academia. A professor creates a project, the student completes that assignment, and even if the professor gives the assignment a grade. Now, even if this was a case study done on a real company like, say, Dropbox or Coca-Cola, does Coca-Cola ever see that case study? No, they don't. Does Dropbox ever offer Scott a job based on the results of this case study? Almost never, right? So what Riipen does is we shifted that around a little bit. See, professor creates an assignment, and he sends it to, come on. There we go. He sends it to Riipen. What we do is we look at the learning objectives on that project and find companies that are using those same skills in their day-to-day operations, or even have a one-off need for those skills based on some need in their business cycle. Right? The student completes that assignment, and then the company rates those student skills as they would apply in their day-to-day operations, as a new hire would. Right? If the student likes that feedback, they can take that rating on their skill set and upload that to their online Riipen portfolio to showcase to potential employers all these real experiences they've had with real employers and what those employers think about their work. Come on, there we go. If the company likes that interaction and likes the student's work, they can add that student to their company talent pool for the next time they're looking to hire entry-level talent. Now, throughout this process, everything is recorded and reported back to the university, which creates this data set which allows institutions to understand how potential employers are evaluating the skills of their students. So Riipen works with a lot of stakeholders. This slide's really going to suck, guys. I'm sorry, because this thing. So first, students. All right. First, students. So this is our online portfolio. It functions very similarly to a LinkedIn for students. And Anthony Miller looks like he's about 14, but he's actually a college student in Canada. And this allows him to take all of these experiences that he's done with real companies and showcase them to potential employers as actual work that he's done for real, actual companies and employers and people outside of academia. Come on. There we go. So companies like Riipen, because we allow them to circumvent the broken and archaic resume and interview process by going through student profiles. See, we've got a bunch of different students. You can see their ratings, the projects they've done. Come on. There we go. Professors. Professors like Riipen because we allow students to see the real-world applications of their work and help keep them engaged. There we go. See, this is a project for World Cocoa Foundation. There we go. Come on. All right. And schools like Riipen because with our data platform, we allow them to get a real-time understanding of how their course content is actually meeting the objective of creating employable students. All right. And finally, this is over. Okay. We'll go back to my end show. Come on. Please. Just work. Okay, yeah. Riipen, that's us. We're in Toronto, Vancouver, and Boston. We have a couple great partners. I work with Boston University in Suffolk, as well as Emerson here in Boston. So we do take experiential learning pretty seriously. I apologize for the lack of functionality on my deck here. But I'd love to answer any questions you have about how Riipen works, current company thing. I will tell you guys I'm not in management, so all those fun questions about like how much money we're making and how much capital we have, I can't answer for you. But I can answer a lot of other stuff, so hope you guys like that, and please, any questions? I guess I'll start with you. What's your employer acquisition strategy? Employer acquisition? So you mean the industry partners that are collaborating with students?
Where do you get the jobs?
Well, so they're not jobs, they're projects. And that's different. So, and a lot of times we'll have employers that'll say, oh, it's an internship. And it's not really an internship, because in an internship, and I have interns, I have really good interns and awful interns. That are, it's more like a babysitting job than anything else. These projects are typically less engaged because you have a professor who's there to provide that guidance. So what they really need from you as a company is feedback, right?
How do you get the companies? How do you get the
Oh,
projects?
a bunch of ways. So, I mean, today I've gotten business cards from potential company partners who say, oh, this is cool, I need a marketing strategy. We use LinkedIn a lot. LinkedIn is a tool we really heavily use. We have SDRs creeping LinkedIn, looking for good matches. We have a technology that actually uses LinkedIn that way. And Riipen will have interoperability with LinkedIn.
So you just do like a mail, send a message to employers?
Mails, phone. I mean, I've cold called companies that were like right down the street from a university because I knew they were like a great match.
Do you have any luck with cold calling?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Business development. We're supposed to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
What's your revenue model?
So, that's a good question. So we charge a fixed fee to our academic partners for maintaining our portal. Our main revenue is through companies, right? And then once we get these interactions going for a couple semesters, then we come back to our academic partners and say, here's this great data set that shows how industry is basically evaluating the skills of your students. And then with that data platform, there's an additional charge. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Go ahead.
Can the students make any money in these projects?
Sometimes. So what we do, if it's an in-class course project, right? So, and you're doing it for credit, it would be illegal in a lot of cases for the companies to pay for that, and that's a whole different thing you don't want to get into. So typically, in our fee to the company is like $100, $200, right? And it's enough to provide a small amount of revenue, but really what that does is establishes a commitment with the company. Because it's really easy for me to say, yeah, sure, I'll collaborate with students, and then not answer the phone next month. So if you pay me $100, especially if you get approval for that from somebody, you're more likely to participate. So so longer projects, we encourage like consulting and gigs after that, so that does happen, but not in the initial interaction.
How far along are you developing the product and testing it out? Are these things, they look like ones that you already have involvement with?
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Northeastern, we worked with their data analytics boot camp this last summer. The co-op's pretty strong there, as everybody knows. So during we're waiting for our new iteration to come out before we work with their rank and file programs. Right now in Boston, we're working with BU, Suffolk. We'll begin working with Emerson probably in the spring semester, and a lot more. I mean, basically, if anybody here works in business development, higher ed, and when I tell them that we came here in May and that we have 4 partners already in academia, people's jaw drop, because it's a big, long institutional sales cycle. But it's really easy to see the value of this, I think, especially from an academic perspective. So we've been very lucky to see some good traction. We were born in Canada, in Vancouver, so most of our partners, you'll see Sulich, Souder, Ryerson, SFU, they're all in Canada.
Excellent. And you have feedback from the companies and from the professors and from the students. Have you gotten feedback from each of the 3 groups?
Yeah.
And are you using that to make modifications?
All the time. Like, we're a feedback-based company. Riipen looks way different than it did a few years ago.
Where's the programming being done? Is it up in Canada?
Toronto. Yeah. Because we're a Canadian company, we get some good incentives from the government to have in Canada. Yeah. Yeah.
kidding aside, yeah, so.
One more question, please.
Actually, oh, sorry. Sir, go ahead.
Just a quick question, yeah. Have you found that by placing students with universities, that this may actually change the syllabus within the universities?
We hope so.
It
Needs to be changed, I would say.
I would think then the college campus or the colleges would, make that syllabus so that it's very sellable to, the business world.
Yeah, that's what we're looking to do. I mean, like, these experiences that we're having with these companies and students are great, but we'd like to use those as building blocks to develop an understanding of just how to train students effectively to meet the needs of the job market. You got time for one more? Can I just get this guy over here?
One more quick question?
Okay, sorry, it was someone back there, yeah, go ahead.
What about the reverse? You mentioned that you're taking a syllabus and you're giving it to a company. What about the reverse? Are you getting companies that are asking, can you do this survey for us or whatever? Can you do this case
Yeah.
study for us?
Absolutely. So when you're a company and you make a profile on Riipen, you're able to list some things that you're interested in students doing projects for, right? So then students at, say, Northeast or Seneca or Ryerson, they're looking at this list of organizations, and if they say, oh, I want to find a marketing organization, they'll look up marketing and they'll see 20 companies, say, oh, let's see what this company might need as far as proving themselves, as far as me being able to prove myself that I'm actually, worthy, sorry to use that word, but it's the truth, of a job with you guys. See, the idea, our hashtag is the resume is dead, because we strongly believe that. Riipen originally started as an idea to replace resumes with relevant projects that you actually do for a company and see the real results. By working with academia, we can kind of streamline that process, and it's less of fighting a paradigm of.
So I guess my question was more of getting a university to getting a university, picking the right university for a company's case study as opposed to an individual. So in other words, I want to get 30 students to do something.
Yeah.
And pick a student. I need to get the university to do that, as opposed to you were saying that you look at the university's program depending to the students. You mentioned that the universities are broken. I'm looking at it the other way around.
That the companies are broken.
Well, the universities are broken in the fact that what they're teaching you is not real life.
Yeah, so you're asking, I'm sorry to rephrase this, so basically you're saying, can a company engage us and say, hey, I have this need, can you find us this need?
What's your best university, what university do you have that can do that for you?
Well, what I would like to do in the future is right now we start with academia and we go to the companies. What I would like to do in the future is be able to take a team of one student from Emerson, an engineering student from Emerson doesn't have engineering, do they? An MIT student from engineering, an engineering student from MIT, an art student from Emerson, and say a MBA student from BU, and put them together on a project. That's what we'd like to see. So and I think we had a very good point made here, like as this goes and develops, you'll see us do a lot more cool things with experiential learning. I'm way over time and I apologize. Thank you very much, guys. If you have any other questions, please.